Muting it. Muting it. Sound check, sound check. 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 Sound check 1 2 1 2. Sound check 1 2 1 2. Good evening, everyone. How you guys doing for the weekend? Okay, it's another Sunday weekly outlook, and I hope you guys doing great for the past weekend. This week, let's do some review for the past week. We have taken the trades personally, but too bad that we didn't manage to give it in time. But we managed to get our buyers right. Okay. Let's do some review first. Okay. So from here, as you can see, we do mark out the liquidity levels, but the price didn't get eventually tapped in. But what makes price push all the way towards the draw liquidity, which means that there is bunch of liquidity below it that didn't push price, that lead the price to magnetize it to come back into the fair value area right below here to then continue higher. So currently, as we know, so from my concept, not my concept, I would say, the concept that I learned, every single price, it requires to go from internal liquidity to external liquidity. So currently we are taking out the external liquidity. The second thing we want to do is from the external liquidity trade into the internal liquidity. So the same is either price seeking liquidity or trading into a fair value area. So okay, so let's do some review for the week first. So from the past week, the price just open straight away, just pump all the way higher right on this Monday. Right, the price just closed here, just open, price just open, eventually it just pump continuing higher. But from the weekly time frame, it doesn't shows have any bottom week, but from the daily time frame, it does shows that after a Monday sting in and the rejection is the order flow is following through pretty nicely, which is, I would say, this is the part that we missed out, that the price could continuing pushing higher. But depends on these two candles itself, right? We can't do any decision yet until one more thing, which is the price just sting in and rejected off. So from this 1 hour time frame, after the sting in, the price indeed just push off higher, break the previous high that sweep the low. So sorry, this high. So after the price break above and then retest into the fair value area right here, and then just continue pumping higher all the way for the week. Please mind me. Yeah, I got the wrong week. Right here. This one. Price eventually just pump up. Take out the first liquidity first. Eventually on the Tuesday, it just sting into it and break above. With this fair value area, the price just respected, following through with another respecting another fair value gap again, and another fair value area right here. So currently price where we are right now, right? We took out a liquidity. Currently we are breaking this base. So from this point of view, the first base was broken. So I believe so the price could just continuing lower to look into the next fair value area. But where will be the next fair value area? Let's see how. Let me do a top-down analysis first, so you guys can know that what is in my thoughts, and then I will show you again what is going on for the week. Okay, so first let me start off with the weekly economic calendar first. So on the Monday, as usual, if we don't have any red folder news on the day, we just don't trade it, because price could just weakening up and down, just ranging, consolidating, whatever. It will just lack of volatility in the market. So on the Tuesday, we do have a GBP news, red folder news. So whoever trading at this hour, on a New Year session, of course, please be careful. Let me check, is there any daylight saving yet or not? Nope, don't have. Then it's okay. Shall move on. Wednesday itself, it is a very heavy news day for the Canadian dollar. So it could just spike up and down, or just following through all the way down. Maybe we do some deep down analysis on the Canadian dollar in a while. We go through one by one, especially USD Canadian. Let's see how. USD Canadian. Let me add into it first, then I will touch on later. So on the Thursday, we have the GBP, Euro, GBP again, and the unemployment claim, and also the PMI for US dollar, which is a good sign that give a sign that price could push off higher or push off lower. So on the Friday, it's also another Canadian news, of course. So for the week, Canadian is the most major ones, and Thursday will be the pounds, the euros, and the US dollar. So maybe we just focus this all. Without the news, I will skip on the Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar. Okay, if that is the case, let me share it with my premium members. Okay, what's next? Then let's dive into the weekly outlook for the week. So, as I mentioned earlier, since price is taken out the draw liquidity, and we have a early sign of respecting the premium levels of here, it is also a weekly fair value area right here. A weekly fair value area, and also it is a weekly fair value gap. So from this sense, that it is totally makes sense if there is a sign of reversal. I wouldn't be surprised as well, because this is where price will respect the premium levels. But another thing, currently we're having this obvious bearish argument. We can't be biased on the side. We definitely need to be arguing both bullish and the bearish side. So on this form, we have exactly opposing daily fair value gap that we might be facing in upcoming week as well, if the price decide to respect of the weekly fair value gap. Even though we know that weekly time frame is definitely more stronger than the daily time frame, but we will not forget that the recent and the current order flow is strong as well, and it's totally makes sense that price tap into the premium and then trade back into the fair value area, and let's see how the price react accordingly, because the price could just trade from the external liquidity to the internal liquidity, and then the price respected the internal liquidity to take out this initial high as well. So instead of just guessing, we just drop down to a daily time frame, a time frame lower, to see how does the price could trade off right here. So from here, this bullish weekly fair value gap minus me. Okay, so on this part, despite how this price is going to close right here, I have a strong belief that the price could just disrespect this daily fair value gap. But another thing is, instead of just straight away making any decision on it, we are required to wait for the price to give her a daily candle to see how the price react of this daily fair value gap. If the price closes with a long wick right here, and then the candle is about like this, then the long wick, and closes above or within the range, then we shall know the next draw on liquidity will be here. If the price just close straight away down like this with a little candle, or a little wick candle, or a long wick candle, something like this, then I could see the price for the following Tuesday. It should be just open, high, low, close, then continue downwards until this weekly fair value gap. The price could be rangy, something like this, until potentially is the UE claim, I guess. If the price just close below with a long wick above and then just close below here, it could just continue all the way down towards the another weekly fair value gap again, because currently we having this weekly unmitigated weekly fair value gap, and also is a weekly fair value area as well. These are the unmitigated one. But if the price are within these two range, if the price decide trade from here, external liquidity, to the internal liquidity, and then we might see some huge range movement within this range, unless some big news or a black swan event occurs that pushes price all the way down or all the way up. Okay, so this is my take. So currently I have I would say after Monday, we would like to see that price to show us to see. We do a reanalysis on maybe Monday night or the Tuesday live stream on New York. This is because that we wouldn't want to make a guess to trade off based on our single buyers. So currently for me, on the DXY, we've taken out the major draw liquidity. Currently we at a decent premium price, and we wouldn't want to risk it to guess the direction, because it could just sweeping this high and continuing lower. Okay, we will do a reanalysis on the dollar index on Tuesday strip. So on the gold, no doubt, definitely is an all-time high. On this, quick recap on it. The price indeed just sting into the weekly fair value gap right down below here, and then the entire week just rejected upwards. So after this weekly open low, the price indeed just pushed all the way down here without tapping us in on the 4-hour fair value gap. That is too bad. But one good thing is, from this high, I would say a flip first. Okay, so from this structure itself, we can see at a lower time frame, it is a open low and then a high, then close. But we all know that the price just pumped all the way high. We close with a slight something like this. Let's see how. Okay, so as you can see from a 4-hour time frame, you see how I drew earlier, the price indeed just open low for the week, eventually just break above, retesting this 4-hour fair value area right here, and then eventually just push off all the way high, take out all the drawn liquidity, and then eventually the recent all-time high right here. And currently we are in the next all-time high again after respecting this 4-hour fair value gap. So from this point of view, what do you guys learn from this? As you can see, as I always mention every single time, the price will pump back up, sweeping a liquidity right here from the external liquidity to the internal liquidity and respected off to continuing higher. We do manage, personally just manage to get through pretty trades for the week on gold, which is right from this pump, from this 1 hour this thing in, the rejection of this, following with a 5-minute BPR right here, and then we manage to enter right here at this candle, and then place our stop loss at the swing low that sting into the 1 hour, and then does the rejection off. We manage to do the same as to our trade. The next day morning, it just pumped up like madly. We took our partial right here, and then the price just retracted off. On the London session, it does sting in back into the 4-hour fair value gap, and eventually just pump it higher. We managed to get another trade off here. It went a little bit of drawdown at this thing, yes, at this thing, of this thing, because the price was pushed up quite far away. We were waiting for the retracement for the fair value area. The same thing, we managed to caught this right before 12 a.m. Yeah, 12 p.m. on the New York time. We managed to catch up to here. We managed to close half and set BE right before we sleep. We just manage the trade, because due to some prop firms, there is some regulation that we are unable to hold the trades over the weekend, etc, etc. It definitely depends on your prop firms. If you are trading your personal account, then it is totally fine. Okay, so let's see what is my outlook for the week on gold. So on gold, the price just respected the weekly fair value gap right down below here. Eventually take out this draw liquidity and close above it. So from this point of view, this whole new range, what it is called? The weekly fair value area. So on the daily time frame, we do see there is a breakaway daily fair value gap. It requires another one more candle to see how the price reacted off this high, because we couldn't be just longing right straight away. Oh, it is bullish, then we just right away enter a buy trade right here, because definitely buying into the resistance and or not knowing that where is a recent resistance, recent draw liquidity, it is very extremely dangerous right here, especially when the price at an all-time high. We wouldn't want to see something like this. You just buy off here. Second thing is, if there is couple of scenario, if the price for the Monday candle, the price just closed with a wick, and eventually the open low right here. So you can see there is a daily time frame, fair value gap form. Of course, let's say it's about right here to here. Let me draw a long wick a bit. Okay, so it is going to be a very indecisive situation on this. Then is either price just reacted off, close with a long wick, sting into it, open low, and then break above. Either price do something like this, take out this old high, or the price could just open high and decide to have a low close, something like this. Then the next thing, if another daily time frame decide to close below right here, then definitely is a no doubt that price could just open high, low, disrespect this, coming back into it, and then comes back to the weekly fair value area to then continuing higher. So this is my game plan for the week on go. Let's see. Let me mark out this as Monday. This as Tuesday. Price sweep the high and flip. External range liquidity to internal range liquidity weekly fair value area. So the next thing is, if the price just scenario 2 price just break above lower time frame, look for fair value area to continue its trend. So this is my take. So do let me have a so on the DXY, Okay, so okay, I just done the analysis for the gold as well. So on next, on the euros, oh yeah, one thing to touch on, we took a loss on this euro against the dollar. Let me tell you why we lost it. First thing first, we do see that the price, it is definitely downtrend. We were eyeing that the price could just continuing lower to trade off the nearest drawn liquidity. But eventually, the second half of the week, of the previous week, the price didn't following through very nicely, which is on the Friday itself. But I think we took the trade is on the Thursday. Okay, we have an early sign of BPR right here, where price respecting off on the Friday right here. Which is early sign. We took off the trade right here, whereby a breakaway gap done very nicely. The price at first sting into it and then does the rejection. So we just hold on to our stop losses. We didn't move anything. Okay, of this 5-minute time frame, a sting in is about at this time. Eventually the price just dumped, but failed to continuing dumping lower after stinging the premium areas and also fair value areas. So at my point of view at the time, I think, okay, let's just give it a chance and hold it overnight. And eventually we took an L for the next day morning, which is unfortunately, but it is what it is, and we just take our losses. Then secondly, at first I was thinking to call the price to set a limit of this fair value area right here, but I didn't manage to take the call due to personal have some working matters. But after I take reading back into it, of this mitigated BPR right here. This 4 hour BPR right here, which is an early sign of reversal. The price just sting in and push off. Eventually, the next drawn liquidity target, no doubt, definitely is here. So on here, let me check a higher time frame. Is there any premium levels to respect of this drawn liquidity or not? Because if you are zooming out nicely, you can see there is a drawn liquidity right here, which is a daily fair value gap, which could lead the price just continuing lower. But despite how this daily candle close almost eat up the whole candle, it is a little bit suspicious to me that the price could just continuing lower off here. But for me, like, there is no reason. Potentially you could argue that this is all the block that push price continuing higher. Yes, even say so. Okay, let's do a tape reading of here. This is the daily order block. Respecting of the daily order block, we do see what? A PPR right here, which is where I caught my stop loss. Okay, we caught my stop loss right here. Did the price disrespected off here? Yes, indeed. A breakaway right here. The price eventually just break off this high. Okay, so the next thing is the price is ranging right here, ranging. The next row of liquidity is here. Let me check on the 4 hour. Is there any unmitigated 4 hour fair value gap or not? Yes, there is, but it does seems like a breakaway. Like there is no point that the price would just need to easily pump another 6 more pips rather than just dump all the way to another 16 pip to fill and then continuing pumping higher. But if the price taking out this liquidity and does the huge dump, imagine this, a break above, a retest, a sting in, created a wick, and then come back into the range, then just continuing lower. This could be possible as well. Otherwise, the price just sting into a manipulation to then continuing higher. For our fair value gap. What we call this is a short turn, but don't ever forget another weekly fair value gap is resting above unmitigated as well. So this could be, if you are a trend line trader, of course you can see this trend line is almost broken, or it is broken, whatever, because I don't use trend line, I couldn't draw a proper trend line. From this point of view, we would say this is potentially this is a break or whatever, but for me it is a good sign of a reversal right here of this 4 hour fair value gap. If the price just sweep, come back into this 4 hour fair value gap to continuing higher, I wouldn't be surprised as well, because we have a weekly fair value gap resting below and also the drawn liquidity right down below. If both sides, I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, so it's still 50-50. Let's see how on the Monday candle first. But I have a strong belief that this daily fair value gap will not be hold. Yes, I believe that. So let me check on a couple of daily fair value gap right here, unmitigated. Okay, on the GBP USD, okay, just mind me, let me go back to the Euro first. Let me take a screenshot and share to my team. Okay, on this. Potentially switching to bullish side. Where weekly fair value and daily fair value are mitigated above. Okay, the same thing goes to the pounds. Of course, the pounds is much clearer, to be honest, whereby the draw liquidity was taken and the 4-hour BP, the 4-hour BPR right here, be extremely clean, of course, as so we can see right here the whole stretch of this area are the draw liquidity, where it could, for me it is so much clearer that price could just reacted off here very nicely, a sting in, a continuation pump upwards. This could be decent though. Yes, this could be decent. That could let price continuing higher. Towards the weekly fair value gap above. This will be the nearest strong liquidity first. Okay. Okay, where price could magnetize the weekly fair value gap, could magnetize the price after sweeping the liquidity to trade back into the weekly fair value gap as a fair value area, to then continuing lower off. But the price could just disrespect the whole thing right here. So on this point of view, since we have a 4-hour fair value gap mitigated right here, and we have a very clean BPR reacted off right here as well, so I believe so, if this is the range, this will be the liquidity range as well. So I would love to see either two things: price just break above and continuing higher. Otherwise, I would love to see the price range within here, as from my point of view, price could just make a fake dump, sting into it, and then continuing higher to take out this liquidity, but not disrespect this protected low, of course, because this is where the respecting protected low right here, which is sting of the 4-hour fair value gap. I would love to see something like this. This is my initial game plan. Let me share with you guys. If whoever want to check again the chart for the week, I have a pretty much confluence on these. GBP USD game plan. Game plan for the week. Okay, so from this point of view, This is pretty much my game plan for the pounds against the dollar. I would love to see that this could play out very nicely. I will be setting an alert right here. The sweep of equal low. Okay, the price could just range between this range due to the Monday lack of volatility, I would believe so. And eventually on the Tuesday, the price just sting into it and then break above this high. Then the second order flow, of course. Then we will just get into a trade pretty soon. We'll take note on the Tuesday. Just nice Tuesday, there is a pound news which is aligned with our analysis. I hope to see that Tuesday this will play out, or the Wednesday news as well. So on the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, we will give it a skip because due to it doesn't have any volatility. No red folder news for both of these currency. I will just make a skip. And next thing will be the Canadian. Oof. It is still in a huge range, but we can see if you guys want to trade off. This doesn't favors me. But price just sweep the low, break the high. Break the high right here. This will be the new draw liquidity, of course. So from this will be the new fair value area to respect of towards this draw liquidity. This will be the weekly fair value area. We respect the price off here. So, but for me, the range is a bit too suspicious for me. It's bumping a bit too far. A recent one, if this high failed to break, it could just trade into. Okay, it's either like this or a sweep. A sweep, come a break below, then continuing lower within this range. Ranging. Weekly is obvious in ranging. Area resting below could lead price continuing lower. Okay, good. Continuing higher. If price fail, if price fail to break the high, the current high will be the swing failure to lead price trade back into the weekly fair value area. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Before we touch on the dollar against the yen, we'd love to see on the yen, the price indeed goes to our plan. The price respected the daily fair value gap, both the second order flow from the daily, and eventually just continuing dumping lower. But as we can see, the price is currently slowing down when it's come nearer to the daily fair value gap. We wouldn't know when will be the next intervention for the Bank of Japan. Bank of Japan is when there's come red folder news for the yen. It is definitely big. We want to trade after it, not to guess the direction of it, because it is very dangerous when Bank of Japan has come to the speak of a certain data release. It could does damage to your account, of course. Okay, so on this, when price is getting lethargic right here, we will love to see the price just sting into the daily fair value gap and then show us a 1 hour PPR out very strongly, of course. This is what we love to see. So this is the yen basket, same as usual, same buyers, bearish until daily fair value gap. Once price sting into the daily fair value gap, look for 1 hour BPR as reversal. So this is hands. Give me a second. Bullish on XXX JPY until yen basket reach is weekly. This is the daily fair value gap. Then look for bearish 1 hour BPR on XXX JPY. So likewise, same goes to the it does getting lethargic right here. Let me check. Is there any fair value gap? No, it's just a drawn liquidity. So the price could just sting into this drawn liquidity, which align with the yen basket, a daily fair value gap, sting into it, a break lower. Let me check on weekly. Is there any weekly fair value gap opposing? Yes, indeed. So from this, we have a new bullish fair value gap. So on the daily itself, we will love to see price just continuing pumping higher, staying into the daily fair value gap, a 1 hour PR out very strongly, and then reverse off here. So from the external liquidity to the internal liquidity, this will be the internal liquidity. So the moment the price take out this weekly fair value gap, couple of things could be happening. Either price does have the reversal from 4-hour time frame right here, respected of this bullish fair value gap to continuing higher. Otherwise, we would see this whole weekly fair value gap range to get disrespect continuationally until this drawn liquidity. So on USD JPY, waiting it price to tap into the daily fair value gap and wait for the price show us the true direction or bias. Price is nearing the resistance. We shall wait for better price action for okay. I believe the rest of the yes. For the rest of it, indeed the price just get very messy off here. As you can see, last week, the whole previous week, the whole range right here, we mentioned that this is a no trade zone because the price just indeed sweep the high itself and dump lower, but it doesn't take out the low as well. If that's the case, the price in the end just keep continuing sweeping the high, break the low, sweeping the high, break the lows. From this point of view, this is still the same. This is a no trade zone. But since the price is respecting this draw liquidity, which is the premium levels, so from this premium level we can see, I believe so, there should have a continuation bearish right here if the Monday candle show us a open high, excuse me, open high, open high, low close. I believe so. It could just continue open high, low, close, something like this. I want it to break this low for the continuation lower. Okay, as you can see right here, eventually this draw liquidity. So GBP, JPY, potential bearish bias. Wait for Monday daily candle closure. Okay, so for the euro against the JPY, yes, you can see right here, it is very suspicious, where price could sting and rejected off right here, sweeping the low and break the highs. So from this point of view, the same thing, this range will be a little bit more dangerous, I would say, to continue longing off here. It could just sweep off this high, but the price is still close within this range, so potentially this high is just a sweep as well. Let me check on the weekly. Yes, eventually both highs. Is this high taken? This high is 600, but this is 607. So from this point of view, this high will be the next draw liquidity. But from here, there is no sign of bullish intention that could take off the price here. Okay, my bias remain the same. This whole range, unless the price just break higher, otherwise I won't have any bias on both of these. This will be the new draw liquidity again. Within this range, I don't think I will be trading. Either price could just open high, low, close. Okay, let me draw more for more easy to understand. Price could do like this, or the price could just do something like this. Yes, either both side, because where this monthly fair value gap, which is the stronger magnet to magnetize off towards this direction. JPY potentially EUR JPY is a 50-50 bias for me. Okay, the rest of it, maybe let's take a look on the CAD Canadian. Let me see if there is anything interesting that we could trade off, because since it is a heavy news, it does looks interesting. So we just took off the previous week low. Take off the previous week low, maybe rise and repeat. The price took out the previous week low and then break the previous week high. So from here, maybe we could do the same as well. Eventually, there is a weekly fair value gap resting above. So there is a weekly fair value gap above. So from here, potentially these could be decent as well. So after sweeping this previous week low, let's check on the 4-hour time frame. Will this following through as an equal low? Will the price just break off right here? The initial drawn liquidity is this high. I wonder what the price is trying to do is, where will be the next drawn liquidity? Potentially this low? Let me have a look. If the price is breaking this low, this will be the recent high target. Let's check on the RTE levels. If this low, it is the ultimate. This low is potentially to be swept. Okay, I would love to see couple of things. This will be the ultimate protected low. If the price just sting in, fall back, sting in, and does the rejection, I wouldn't be surprised, because in order price to continuing pumping higher, it requires liquidity as well. But if the price just straight away just think of break off this high, coming back to continuing higher, this is more decent. Of course, we have the clear direction, obviously. Okay, otherwise the price could just respecting this weekly fair value above, fair value area above, price could just sting in, break below, then continuation lower. Okay, I will not have holding bias on these as well, so 50-50 price action on me. Okay, so this is pretty much for the whole entire Forex and gold analysis. I will touch on the last two remaining will be the crypto pairs, because due to some couple of requests, I have some requests on the Bitcoin and the Ethereum. So, based on my opinion, the price just sweep off this previous week low. A new protected low has formed. Potentially, this will be the close above for the weekly candle. Okay, will it be coming off to a new all-time high? It's just a matter of time. Despite how the weekly candle close right now or soon, is another 9 more hours for the candle closure. This will be the potential weekly fair value area form. So from this point of view, this will be the untested one, which is the price just totally disrespect this daily fair value gap and just continuing pumping higher, whereby this fair value area on the fair value gap daily has been respected as well. Okay, a daily fair value gap respected. The next draw liquidity will be here, 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 and here. Eventually the new all-time high. Okay, so is this the new daily fair value gap? It requires to see if this just flip below, it's just continuing lower, but I believe so it won't break this protected low. So if the price just want to dump, I would love to see a continuation pump upwards or potentially because this weekly candle is closing, there might be another weekly candle forming off with this weekly fair value gap to then continuing higher towards this all-time high. I totally won't be surprised. Okay, so I think it is too much notes to touch on right here. So let me do some analysis right here. I would love to see the price just continuing pumping higher. Okay, so couple of things. So the price just rejected off right here and decided to close below, but this low is still getting respected. This daily fair value gap, I want it to be tapped. So couple of things that could happen is the price just break above, ignoring this daily fair value gap. But no matter what, if there is an imbalance in the price, there will be filled. It requires to be filled. Okay, so it's either price to sweep this drawn liquidity first, the nearest drawn liquidity, to then dump into the daily fair value gap. Eventually the price just continuing pumping higher off here. Okay, this is what I would like to see. So scenario 1, price just continuing pumping higher towards the all-time high. Otherwise the price just sweep, coming back down, a flip, and then coming to another all-time high. So this is the BTC USD playbook. Game plan. So scenario 1, daily fair value gap resting below, price just ignore and pump all the way towards the all-time high. Scenario 2, price sweep the nearest dump towards the daily fair value gap and respected the bullish order flow to continue towards the all-time high. So the Ethereum, the nearest drawn liquidity is getting close. Let me check on the weekly. Is there any missing out or not? Okay, first we thought that the weekly fair value gap is going to get disrespected. Okay, eventually, no, oppositely, the price just continuing pumping higher off. So the next thing we would love to see, another new things, is on the, okay, this will be the weekly fair value gap. This is the daily BPR. this potentially could be the second order flow, daily fair value gap. I could push price off. If the price just do something like this, sting in a break above, continuing higher, or the price could just pump all the way high, close above, and continuing higher off like this. ETH US dollar. This is the game plan. Scenario 1. Price just see the nearest $USD, tap into the bullish daily fair value gap to continue higher. Scenario 2, price just break above to continue higher. So this is my game plan. Because it's bullish, let me do a slight edit on this. It's definitely bullish also. So okay, it is good to see you guys on the weekly outlook. Of course, if you guys, whoever haven't watched it, just watch it. If you have any question that would like to reach me personally or ask me personally, please feel free to join us at the Telegram link below, and we will guide you one-to-one. You can hop on to our Discord and chat with the rest of our members and also some senior traders as well. So I hope to see you guys in our Telegram, Discord community. Whatever we have, we are providing education for free on trading. So Onlypips FX, it's Y Brian here. I hope everyone have a good night and have a great weekend. I'll see you guys, I'll catch you guys very soon on Tuesday live. See you guys. Goodbye.